Hello, welcome to the Team SNG Test Hands video. Now today we're going to be doing the test hands for the FA deck profile featured on the channel earlier this week. If you haven't seen the profile yet, I would recommend going and checking that out first. If you want to see this first though, hey, dealer's choice. Now, at the end of the day, I would like to ask you guys to leave us a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel while you're here. Also, check out the team's Facebook page. Link to that will be down in the description below. On top of that, while you're down there perusing that lovely content that we have down in the description, check out the survey for SurveyMonkey. That survey was to vote for the decks in the upcoming in-house Team SNG deck profile tournament. What that's going to do is it's going to pit decks that you've seen featured on the channel against each other in a best of 8 tournament to see which comes out crowned king. 4 decks have already been selected based on the viewership we've had for them, and that is Ancient Warriors, Metaphys, Fur Hires, and Crawler level 9 spam. There are 4 remaining slots, which are up to you guys, so make sure you leave us a vote in that on that survey. Now, with all this being said, this deck's kind of an interesting one. It is definitely going first deck, so what we are going to do is we are going to do 3 test hands going first. Alright, that being said, let's get into it. Alright, so here we go. FA Auto Navigator, FA Auto Navigator, Hoppier Squadron, FA Hang-On Mock, and Pot of Desires. Okay, so this isn't the greatest of openings. We've only got 1 FA monster that we really want to normal summon. We do have Hoppier Squadron, which could let us do some interesting stuff on our opponent's turn. The Pot of Desires is really going to be key for this opening hand. So, first, we'll activate our desires. Banishing off the top 10. 10. To draw FA Circuit Grand Prix and Speedroid Marble Machine. So that's better. It does give us the ability to at least be able to play a little more into our opponent's turn. So what have we banished off? We've banished off one of our City Grand Prix, which is a shame. Our Terratop, which would have been really nice to have drawn into. And 2 of our Dead Heats, which is, again, a bit of a shame, but at the end of the day, you know, they're gone. We can't cry over spilt milk. So, at this point, I think our best bet, realistically, is to go FA Hang-On Mock, and then activate our FA Circuit Grand Prix. That would then give our FA Hang-On Mock an additional level. Little trick I highly recommend when playing this deck is to have a box of bingo counters. Every time a card's level goes up, you put a counter on it. Every time it goes down, you take a counter off. Obviously, when it gets to negative counters, that can be a bit more difficult, so typically my system is I put the counter at the top of the card, and I put them at the bottom if it's negative. So FA Hang-On Mock will be level 5. During the battle phase, FA Hang-On Mock will increase to level 7. That's basically my system. On our opponent's turn, we are going to be able to special summon Hoppier Squadron and synchro off FA Hang-On Mock and Hoppier Squadron to go into our FA Dawn Dragster. Which can definitely be a problem for our opponent, because if our opponent does try to get rid of our FA Hang-On Mock on their turn, then we can actually make Dawn Dragster. We can use Dawn Dragster's negate effects, and when they get into the battle phase, Dawn Dragster will gain 2 levels. So our opponent will have to deal with our Dawn Dragster before the battle phase. This really isn't ideal But at the end of the day, as I stated in the deck profile for this, this isn't a super competitive deck, so you do have to expect openings like this from time to time. Okay, on to test hand number 2. Symphonic Guitar, Off-Road Grand Prix, Talkatomborg, Whip Crosser. Okay, so this isn't a bad opening for us. It is going to be able to get us our Shining GT and our Whip Crosser underneath it, so that's really good. So, first things first, activate our Symphonic Guitar in our scale and pitch our second copy of Symphonic Guitar. That will let us special summon our Symphonic Warrior Mics to the field. And you want to be careful with placement because you do need your GT to be able to point to an FA monster. So you need to make sure there's going to be a zone underneath GT that the FA monster can point to. Next, we're going to normal summon our FA Whip Crosser, so I always recommend putting it in the middle just for this issue. And special summoning your Talkatomborg. At this point, you can use your 2 machines, Talkatomborg and Mics, send them both to the grave to special summon your FA Shining GT. Now, at this point, he is only going to have a total of 1200 attack, but once you activate your field spell, your FA Whip Crosser will gain 1 level, and during the main phase will gain an additional 2. This will turn off hand traps, so it could be tempting to do this at the start of the turn. However, if you do this at the start of the turn, your FA Shining Star GT won't gain its athlete counter to give you a negate on your opponent's turn. You're still going to turn off anything like dangers, you're going to turn off a lot of Thunder Dragon stuff, you're going to turn off all sorts of effects that activate in hand if this sits on the field at 2100 attack through your opponent's turn. There is another problem, which is that your FA monsters are going to be able to be destroyed by battle quite easily, because during the battle phase, they will lose 2 of their levels, meaning that they will both be sitting at a measly 1500 on your opponent's battle phase. But assuming they get there and they both get destroyed, you will be able to force your opponent to discard a card when they are destroyed. Alright, so that does it for test hand number 2. Okay, on to test hand number 3. FA Downforce, Pot of Desires, FA Off-Road Grand Prix, FA Circuit Grand Prix, and Symphonic Warrior Guitar. So, seeing as you're not going to be able to attack on your first turn, FA Circuit Grand Prix is kind of a dead card. So we're going to activate Guitar, and we are going to discard Circuit Grand Prix to allow us to special summon to our field FA Warrior Mics. Again, placement can be kind of important. We're going to put it there. Now, we definitely have the potential that we are going to be sitting on just a Warrior Mics and nothing else going into our opponent's turn. That is definitely a possibility. However, if that Desires really pays off for us, then we could be in fantastic shape. So, we'll activate our Pot of Desires. Banishing off 10 cards. Draw FA Auto Navigator and FA Hang on Mock. That could not have gone any better if we'd asked. At this point, what we are going to want to do is we are going to want to normal summon both of them. We normal summon one, FA Hang on Mock, We normal summon one FA Auto Navigator, and we want to do this, and we can do this utilizing FA Warrior Mike's effect. When we normal summon Navigator, we're going to want to search ourselves out a field spell. So we're going to search out FA City Grand Prix, because this field spell is the best one for us. Now what we want to do is we want to activate our Off-Road Grand Prix. That will increase and then chain FA Hang On Mach's effect to give itself a level. That will then increase FA Hang On Mach level 7. And it'll also increase our FA Auto Navigator to level 3. So we have level 10 here if we wanted to try and sync them together. However, we haven't got a level 10 monster to do that with. At this point, we're going to go Link 2. Into our Shining Star. Now, we could utilize FA Navigator's effect. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to activate FA Downforce, targeting our Hang On Mach. That will then let us lower his level back down to 4. Or sorry, that will then let us increase his level by another 2. We're going to also chain our FA Shining Star GT to give him an athlete counter. We will not trigger Hang On Machs because we actually want him at level 9. What we're next going to do is we are going to special summon back our FA Auto Navigator. This will put another counter on our Shining Star GT. And our Navigator will become level 5. Because it changes its level to the level decrease that FA Hang On Mach underwent. So we now have a level 5 tuner and a level 4. We can synchro these two together. Into our FA Motorhome Transport. He will gain 2 levels because of the field spell, putting him at level 11. At this point, what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to use off-road, change over our off-road Grand Prix for our City Grand Prix. This will give our FA Shining GT, Star GT another level, and also it will give our Motorhome another level. Meaning that we have a level 12 Motorhome sitting here, meaning that our GT is sitting at 3600 attack, our Motorhome sitting at 3600 attack. We do have the negate of a monster effect. We could have put Dawn Dragster on the field, giving us a negate of a spell effect as well. However, I prefer to have this line up because this can't be destroyed by card effect or battle. It can't be targeted by card effect because of the FA City Grand Prix. And our opponent can't target our FA Shining Star, meaning that we've actually got 2 3600 beaters that our opponent will probably have to attack into to get rid of them. That's really good. Also, on our opponent's turn, we can trigger the Downforce from the graveyard to increase our FA Motorhome by another 2 levels, meaning that we actually will be able to have him sit at level 15, which will give him 4500 attack, along with FA Shining Star GT sitting at 4500 attack as well. So our opponent should really have a hard time getting through this. This is a really good opening for the deck. I'm glad I was able to show you guys this sort of opening. That being said, I'd like to thank everyone for watching. Do make sure you leave us a like, comment, and subscribe. If you really like this deck and you haven't checked out the profile, I recommend checking out the profile to it. Link will be in the description down below. Also, while you're there, check out the SurveyMonkey survey to vote for whatever deck it is you would like to see pitted against each other in the